Hello everyone and welcome to the last episode of the Coldfront for this school year.
Today we will be talking to some of our fellow seniors in the meteorology department.
Today we asked them what their weather story is.
Plus, Lauren and I talk about our own weather experiences and our time here as weather and assistant weather directors.
The Coldfront starts right now.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Lynnette Grant.
And I'm Lauren Hilko.
Today we're going to talk to some of our fellow graduating seniors and find out what their weather story is.
Well, our first guest today is the former president of the AMS NWA chapter here at Valpo, Raelene Cambell. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
So we're going to first start off, we're going to be talking all about weather stories. What is your weather story? We're going to first start off with the general question that everybody always asks. What got you into meteorology?
Honestly, I'm not quite, there's nothing that pinpointed it, but I guess when I was little and I couldn't sleep, my mom opted to try to get me to fall asleep with watching the Weather Channel, and I think it just kind of accidentally grew from there, possibly. But past that, I don't think there's one set thing that really got me interested.
When you started looking at schools to figure out where you were going to go to college, why did you choose to end up to go to Valpo?
Well, first I'm from Ohio, so I checked out the 2 schools in Ohio, and then I kind of went up the state of Indiana. Once I got to Valpo, which was my last school I visited, I really just fell in love with the program. The fact that professors were going to be able to teach me, and everyone was super welcoming in the Weather Center right away, and different things like that really kind of caught my attention and really dragged me to Valpo compared to other schools.
Now, speaking of professors and stuff, what has been your overall favorite class so far, and what have you gained knowledge-wise from that?
My overall favorite class would probably have to be the nowcasting class. I really like severe weather, and that kind of started my forecasting abilities of severe weather and really kind of understanding what was going on in things like code yellows and stuff like that. So I think that was, I guess, ultimately one of my favorite classes, and it was an elective, so I got to opt to take it, and I wasn't forced to, which is always nice to do. So,
what was your favorite activity that you were involved with at the meteorology department?
Well, I have to say I really enjoyed being AMS president. I know that kind of sounds cliche because it's also like the top position I had, but I really enjoyed getting to work and get to know everybody from even various, like the underclassmen and everything, and really kind of bringing things together and with the conference and kind of seeing other people enjoy weather as much as I do. So that'd be my favorite.
Okay.
Now, what has been your favorite memory overall from the university and meteorology department?
I guess really all the friends I've made and all the connections I've made, it's, I guess not a memory, but all the memories made with those people really have I'm going to carry those outside of my time here at Valpo. And I really cherished everything that everybody that's come into my life within these 4 years. And I think that's really, the people in and of itself is probably my favorite part.
Now, here's a question that I have for you now. Personally, and we'll get into this later, Lauren, there have been classes that I've taken that I have completely enjoyed that weren't even related to meteorology at all. Has you had a very similar experience as well? Like, has there been a class that you've taken not meteorology at all, but loved it a lot?
Yeah, actually the one class which I took recently and I've wanted to take, was a photography class, because I think it's always, my family struggles with taking pictures, so we always miss these moments. And so finally being able to have a background of using a camera and taking these pictures. So I really enjoyed doing that. I'd say that'd be my favorite.
I mean, even photos is important to weather, so you can use that aspect as well.
Exactly.
So now one of the final questions we're going to ask you is, what are your final plans after you step across that stage?
After I walk across the stage coming here in a couple weeks, my plan is to go down to the University of South Carolina, where I'm going to pursue a master's in geography with a focus in disaster mitigation. And then from there, after that, I'm not going to go for my PhD, I'm pretty certain. And after that, hopefully have a job between National Weather Service, emergency management type path. So.
All right, and one question I have for you. If you could describe this program in one word, what would that word be?
Family.
Perfect.
Totally agree with that.
I think everyone can agree with that.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much,
Yes,
Raelene,
thank
for
you.
joining us today. When we come back, we will continue to ask our seniors what their weather story is.
Plus, we have a fun new game that we will be playing with our next guest.
I love games. I can't wait for that. We have all that and more coming up, but first, you're watching the Coldfront on VUTV Channel 15.
Welcome back, everyone.
Before we get to our next guest and hear their weather story, we're going to introduce our newest game here on the Coldfront.
Now, this game is called Name That Cloud, and what we're going to do is we will show a picture of a specific type of cloud, and whoever answers it right will get a point, and every person will have a chance at the most points. We'll have the bragging rights. I'm sorry, we have no prizes for you guys, but after our next commercial break, we're going to reveal who the big winner is. So I will be keeping score, so this is actually going to be our guest, Nathan Hopper, and Lynnette Grant will be answering which cloud is which. I have the answers here, so no cheating. So let's go ahead and get started and see the first type of cloud.
Cirrus.
I was going to say,
That
it's
is
Cirrus
correct,
cloud.
Hopper.
Oh, we're going by time? Okay, so we have
Yes,
to do the first
whoever
one.
is the fastest. What about
All
that?
right.
Cumulonimbus cloud.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah, there you
Lynnette.
go. All right, I need to pay more attention here. It's an airplane. Oh, cumulus.
Cumulus.
Hopper got it first.
Oh. All right,
How
here
about
we
the
go.
last one?
Cumulonimbus again.
No.
Towering cumulus.
Alto cumulus.
No.
No.
Squall line.
No, it's a multi-cell.
Turkey tower.
It's a multi-cell, isn't it?
No.
No.
It's cumulonimbus.
It's,
You guys are killing
it
me.
looks like a
It's
cumulonimbus cloud. Like, can I just call
Can
it?
we phone a friend? Okay,
That's a
just
funnel
just
cloud.
phone cloud.
No one got that one.
Wall cloud.
Lynnette got funnel cloud first. What about the next one?
Kelvin Helmholtz instability clouds.
Okay,
There goes
all right,
Lynnette.
That's fine.
Those are my favorite clouds. Like, those are my absolute favorite clouds.
Lenticular.
Mamata- oh, no, not
Altocumulus.
Mamata.
Yes.
Those are
Hopper got that
See
one.
Those
them
are
in Colorado all
lenticular.
the time.
How about the next one?
Mammatus
Mammatus
clouds.
clouds.
Lynette got that one.
Lynette had that one, yeah. Volcanic ash.
It's a
Volcanic
What's it
eruption.
called?
It's volcanic.
Volcanic ash.
There's a name for like.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
ash
a
cloud.
specific type.
Volcanic
cloud.
ash cloud?
No.
No, a pyrocumulus.
Yes.
Oh,
Lynette got that.
It's pyrocumulus.
Very nice.
This
I don't
What
unbelievable.
about the next one?
Wave
Yep.
cloud.
Roll
Roll cloud.
cloud.
Hopper
Transverse
got
roll
that
cloud.
one.
Wave
Okay.
cloud.
Two more.
Stratus.
Lynette.
That was tied. Give us each point for that one. Wall
Wall
cloud.
cloud.
Shelf
It's a wall
cloud.
cloud.
Shelf cloud.
Lynette got it. It was a wall
Yes, I got
Bummer.
that one.
cloud. The only one you did not get was a cumulonimbus congestus.
That was.
Yes, we had to be
Really?
specific. I'm sorry.
No.
was not-
No.
So we'll tally this up after the break and see who actually won. I don't know.
I've
I
got
was keeping
$5 in my
track, though.
pocket, so
So
I'll just slide it across the desk.
Okay, fine. We'll go with that. All right, now shifting gears, we're going to have our own memories of the Valpo Meteorology program here at Valpo. So, Nathan, what have been some of your highlight memories of Valpo Meteorology?
Oh my gosh, too many to count, that's for sure. Everything from the storm chases over the summer, those are always something that I feel has been one of the key memories, because it's just it's an 11-day stint. We were out there and you're chasing the clouds, literally and figuratively, and you're building bonds with the people that are on the chase, and you're seeing parts of the country that you never thought you'd ever see. You know, like rural central Kansas. You know, whoever takes a summer vacation, like, let's go to Smith Center, Kansas. No, nobody says that. So those are probably some of the best memories I've had. Plus the people that I've met in the department also. I'll be friends with them probably throughout the rest of my career, and the memories we've made here. You know, late nights in the weather center doing homework, dynamics especially, have been some of, I don't want to say great memories, but the bonds I've built from that time I think are the best.
Now, what would you say was the reason that you chose Valpo over any other school for meteorology?
Sure, I was looking at other schools like Oklahoma, North Dakota, Penn State, and then Valpo and Creighton was in there too, but there was like one person in their meteorology program. So when I came here, I wanted to come here before I even looked at schools. And so I just looked around at all the schools to see kind of how I felt at my top 5 schools. And Valpo was small. It had that feeling that I enjoyed, the community feeling where the professors knew you one-on-one. They knew you by your name and not by just a number. I felt like that was what I had in high school. And so I feel like that's the best situation I could learn in, where the professors knew me and knew my learning style. And that's kind of why I chose Valpo.
Speaking of learning and classes and stuff, what has been your favorite class so far?
Recess and lunch are not an option like they were back in high school.
You had recess in high school?
No.
Yeah, I was just saying, what high school did you go to? I didn't.
It was a public school, so no recess for us. But lunch was one of my favorite times in high school. Weathercasting was probably one of my favorite classes with Ellen Baca from Wood TV. She would come down and she'd teach that class. And that's probably up there amongst the top of my favorite classes. Com 100 was kind of fun. And aviation meteorology and advanced aviation meteorology are probably my top. They jostled for the top position in my favorite classes.
All right, and was there a class outside of meteorology that you took that you really, really enjoyed, that you kind of just took just for fun?
I took just for fun. Choir. Choir, I took that. I've been in choir 8 semesters. The required is 2 credits of choir, I think, or 2 credits of a fine art for the major. And I've taken 8 credits for that because I just love, I sung in 3 or 4 different choirs in high school. And so I wanted to continue that into college as well. We're singing in the Contouri and just being able to sit back and relax from all the other things and be able to sing just when I have fun.
Well, very, very, very quickly, one word to describe this department.
I'd have to say family also. I really would.
Very cliche, but very, very perfect answer. Thank you so much, Nathan. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have more from our seniors.
Also, both Lynnette and myself are going to share our own weather stories.
Stay tuned for more.
Everyone knows John Guilford is one of the best defenders on the team. He's one of the best in the PFL, and he puts a lot of time in on the field to make sure of that, but he also puts in a lot of time off the field to do that too. Pretty good at what he does. Pretty good. Yeah. Ow. It's easy to walk into an interview feeling confident, knowing you'll make the right impression. Which one do you use? The bone crusher, a little too firm. The misfire, just utter confusion. The politician, a little too creepy. The dead fish, very awkward. The hug shaker, too much commitment. Get started right away with Handshake, only through the Career Center. Do what you love.
Welcome back, everyone.
Well, we're going to move ahead to our final guest of today's show. That's going to be the lovely Nicole Batzek. But before we ask her about her weather story, we have the results of our new game. And the winner is, drumroll, no other than Miss Lynnette Grant.
Hey!
Nice. Thank you, Hopper, for playing. But Lynnette did get 7.
I thought I wasn't going to know any of those clouds.
Yeah, no, you did a great job.
I'm pretty proud.
Well, speaking of proud, we have a person here who is proudly graduating in just a few short weeks and stuff. So thank you so much for joining us today, Nicole. And I guess our first question we're going to ask is, most of the time it's from a little kid, you know, as a meteorologist, you kind of get your passion or whatnot. What got you into meteorology? How old were you? Stuff like that.
You know, it wasn't really a specific event, which is usually the case for a lot of people. There's usually a bad thunderstorm or a tornado or something, but it was really nothing for me. I've just always loved thunderstorms. Whenever there was a thunderstorm, all my sisters would run to the basement and I'd run outside to go look and see how it was coming. So nothing super specific. I've just always loved watching weather, and I figured, hey, I could do a career in that, so why not?
Now, what made you decide to go to Valpo for meteorology?
Oh, Valpo. Well, I'm actually from Valpo. I live in Valpo. So 2 schools that I looked at were here, and I also looked at Purdue University in Lafayette. So I visited Purdue, and it was a nice program, but then I visited Valpo, and it was just blew me away. So most people want to go away from home for school, but just the feeling of this meteorology department here really just pulled me in.
Now, what are some activities that you were involved in the department that really had an impact and really made this experience memorable for you?
I was involved in a lot of the activities. I was involved in AMS, I was involved in BUSIT, CAIUP even too, which is the Meteorology Honor Society. Being an officer for the AMS chapter was probably awesome. I was the treasurer this year, so I helped plan the conference, and it's just been an incredible time here at Valpo.
Now, what would you say has been your favorite meteorology class that you've taken here?
Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna shoot me, but I love dynamics. Dynamics was my favorite.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I'm the lab aide, so I just loved the equations. I loved seeing how the weather evolved, even learning QG omega, QG high tendency. Just loved it.
Well, though, I have to agree. Like, I liked dynamics as well because I'm more of a math person.
Same.
Like, I can see.
That's why I liked it so much.
That's why I liked it, because with me being more into math, I could see like what was going on, and it made sense to me.
And then you could actually like mathematically
exactly
do things. So
exactly.
I just loved that course.
Now, has there been a class that you've taken at the university outside of meteorology that you've really, really enjoyed?
I'm going to kind of echo off of Raelene and say photography. I took a digital photography course. I absolutely loved it. I've always loved taking pictures, but I was never super high tech with it. I always wanted to figure out how to take a picture of a person and then have the blurry background. So I was able to figure out how to do that, as cheesy as that sounds, but I loved the photography class that I took.
You're a great photographer. I have, I've had you take some senior pictures for me,
Thank
so
you.
I know you do an awesome job at that. What is probably one of the most memorable moments that you've had in the department, something that you'll take away and remember for the rest of your life?
I think just making all the friends that I have. You both are very good friends of mine that are going to be friends with me forever, and just tackling everything, whether that be homework late at night, physics, whereas when it all started, I feel like I became so much closer with everybody during our physics days. And
Those physics days.
if I had to choose something, though, I honestly couldn't, because even through our struggles, I loved it all.
Oh, okay, and then quick thing to ask before we wrap it up. One word to describe the program.
Incredible. It's just incredible.
That's a very, very good word. I would have to agree with you.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself.
All right, thank you so much, Nicole,
Yes,
for
thank
joining
you.
us today. When we come back from this commercial break, Lauren and I will give our own weather stories.
Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If dying young won't change your mind, baby, 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 right.
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Welcome back, everyone.
Now it's our turn to talk about our own weather stories. And since, Lynnette, you won the game, I'm going to ask you the question first. So
Okay.
the first question I have is, what got you into meteorology?
Well, I specifically remember when I was really, really young, and probably when I was in grade school, I was home one day in the afternoon, and I'm pretty sure it was during the summer, but there were severe thunderstorms going through the Chicago suburbs. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, so I was listening to the radio and listening to where the weatherman on the radio was saying where these storms were going to be. And I distinctly remember sitting on my kitchen floor with a high-res map of the Chicago suburbs, plotting where these storms were. And at one point, it looked like these storms were going to go toward where my dad was working. So I called my dad at work, and I said, hey, you should probably stay at work an extra half hour so you don't have to drive through these storms. And I'm pretty sure the marks are still on that map. I haven't opened it in years, but it's still in the drawer. So I'm pretty sure that the marks are still there, and that passion that I have for keeping people safe is something that is still there.
Yes.
What about you?
For me, it was actually the exact opposite. I was terrified of thunderstorms, actually. And when I was in 7th grade, I was actually in it was only an F0 tornado. My family and I were driving down the road, and all of a sudden in front of us, you could just see trees getting ripped out of the ground, and it just looked like this, I don't even know how to describe it. It did cause some damage around the area, but luckily my family and I were safe. And then after that moment, I was like, I could see myself doing this for the rest of my life. And I went and I did research, learned more about storms, and watched the Weather Channel, kind of like Raelene did, and kind of turned from an interest to a passion at that point. And I was in 5th grade at that time. And ever since then, it has always been a desire of mine to pursue this. And even though it's gotten difficult at times, we're very close to graduating, and I'm thankful that I stuck with it.
Why did you want to go to Valpo?
I did not start picking colleges that I was going to go to until my senior year of high school, and I actually went to a college fair, and I talked to someone, and the person who was talking actually had a roommate who was a meteorology major, and he promoted the university very well. I did more research and came here on a visit, and it just automatically felt like home. I have never felt that way in my life, where I went somewhere and I knew this is where I belong, and that is exactly what I got when I stepped on campus here. I knew exactly that I belonged here. So that's actually the only college that I visited. It was here at Valpo, and this is the one that I've been at for 4 years. Now, same question back to you.
Well, for me, mine was kind of the opposite of you. I started looking at schools freshman year of high school because I knew meteorology was what I wanted to do, and not many schools have that as compared to like biology or chemistry.
Right.
So I went to my high school counselor, and I asked him, what schools can I go into if I want to go into meteorology? And one of the schools he recommended was Valpo. So the Labor Day, I had no school, and so we went to visit my grandparents, and they live about an hour away from here. And we were there, and my mom asked me, we're only an hour away, and you have no school. Do you want to go visit Valpo? And I'm like, why not? We're not doing anything. So we drove to Valpo, and we went to Kretzmann, because that's where the admissions office was at the time. And we just walked in, and we were able to get a tour right then, like when we walked in. Wow. And the guy that gave the tour was actually a meteorology major. I remember who he was. It was Gavin Roy. And I'm not sure exactly what he's doing now, but I distinctly remember he as my tour guide and telling me all about the meteorology program. And ever since I stepped on campus, I haven't turned around. I'm here, and I haven't left. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes, I find myself like, I wonder if I went somewhere else, but my experience would not have been what it is now, like if I went to another school as I did here.
Speaking of experiences, what has been like the biggest impact? Not maybe it's in the meteorology department, maybe it's here at VUTV. What has impacted you the most and will be the most memorable for you during your college years here?
That's a really, really tough question, but I have to say the community aspect of both the students, the professors, and the alumni.
Oh, definitely.
Because the majority, actually, I'm pretty sure, with the exception of WGN, all of the internships I've had have been with a Valpo alum. And the network that we have with the alums, the professors, and the students is something that's just you can't experience it anywhere else besides here. And had I gone to another school, the programs I was looking at were smaller than Valpo, believe it or not. So it wouldn't be the same as if I went to another school, and that relationship has just been amazing. Now, what about you?
Echoing off of that, the fact that the professors know you by name, take the time to get to know you. Anytime I've ever had a question or a concern, I could easily just walk in their office and they'd be willing to help. So I love the relationship that we have with the professors here. And also probably one of the biggest impacts and memories is probably here at VUTV. This year I served as the assistant weather director, and the impact and the things that it has taught me, it's taught me to be a better leader, and the experience that I've gotten from freshman year, just walking on campus, being able to get on the green screen and stuff has made me a better broadcaster and has given me experiences that I will never forget for the rest of my life.
Definitely. Now, have you had a class that you've taken outside of the meteorology program that you've really enjoyed?
Sociology. That was very
Okay.
interesting for me. It's a toss-up between that and Jesus and the Gospels, one of the theology classes.
That was
Yes.
a very good class.
We had that class together, so that's why we can both agree on that. But probably those two have been my top choices. What about you?
See, I got into a few theater classes because theater was something I always did in high school, and I figured it could benefit me in terms of broadcasting in some way. But one class that I'm taking this current semester is Movement for the Theater, and it's been a lot of dance, and I've never taken a dance class in my life. But with this class, I have a newfound appreciation for all types of fine arts, whether it's choir, which I've been used to, or band, or even dance. It was something that I never did, and something I would have probably never been able to do had I did not go to Valpo. Now, I'm going to ask you the question I've been asking everybody. One word.
Incredible or amazing. It was just an awesome opportunity, and I'm thankful that I got to experience it with so many awesome people.
Awesome.
What about you?
Top notch, and I'm going to stick with that. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We both had a wonderful school year, and we hope you all did too.
Well, we want to leave you with the Coldfront Cold of the Week for all the graduating seniors. Wherever you go, no matter what the weather, always bring your own sunshine. And that is from Anthony J. D. Alejandro. And Lynnette and myself, we want to wish you all good luck on your finals and have a wonderful summer.